Hello my crafty friends, welcome back to the channel, and welcome if this is your first time stopping by. My name is Catrice, and in today's video we are going to work on some Father's Day gift ideas. So let me reposition my camera and we can get started. Okay, so we are all set to get started on the first project, which is going to be a t-shirt. So we're going to use some HTV, and I've got the heat press already ready. It just beat that it's already reached the desired temp, and I'm going to use an SVG that I found off of Creative Fabrica, and you guys will see it in a few minutes. But this is the vinyl that I'm using, so it's going to be the back. It's going to be with this sort of like a silvery vinyl, and then this gold vinyl. The SVG is going to say Best Dad Ever. And this is HTVRont Vinyl, the heat HTVRont Vinyl that I'm using. Ooh, that was almost a tongue twister. All right, so what I need to do first is go ahead and print, not print, but cut the first part. And I've got my computer over here on the side because I'm using Cricut Design Space. So we're gonna start with this one, and I am still using this extra long mat because my 12 by 12 mats, they are just ripping up my paper whenever I put it on, so they are so sticky. So I don't know what's going on with that, but this will work, so it doesn't really matter. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that there. And now I'm going over here to Design Space. You guys can't see this part on camera because I can't get it into frame, but I'm just over here getting ready to print this. So I just sent the design, the SVG, to the Cricut machine, and now all I have to do is hit this little flashing button, and it is going to start cutting, and then we'll do the second one with this paper. Not paper, but vinyl. Okay, it just finished. So I'm going to take this off the mat and load the second one. But before I load the second one, we'll go ahead and trim this one. Trim it down. This is a really cute SVG that I found on Creative Fabrica. So you guys are going to see it in a minute. And I'm putting it on the black t-shirts. I think that'll be nice. All right, so we're going, oh my gosh, you know what I did? I forgot to put this face down. Alrighty, so we need to cut this out again. Good grief. I'm not even gonna edit this out. I'm just gonna keep my mistakes in so you guys will know that crafting doesn't always go perfect the very first time. So this is, I printed it, I mirrored the design, which was fine, but then I forgot to put it face down so that it will print on the back part, and I'll show you how that's going to look. Look at me about to do it again. I swear I cannot talk and craft at the same time today. Alrighty, so I think this is big enough. Yeah, let's do this again. We've got it face down, the vinyl, and we are going to print this again. Wasting my vinyl. All right, so let's just get that going again and hit that little button. Yeah. Whoops. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. So when you go to pull the vinyl backwards, nothing is going to be here because it's going to cut this thing here, so it's supposed to be on here. So that is why you always want to make sure you mirror your, not mirror, but put your product face down. So this one is cut correctly. So now we are going to load the gold, and we're going to put it face down, and it is going to print the word Dad, which is the second part of the design. So I'm just gonna Put that on there like that to make sure it gets contact, really good contact with the mat. And we're going to go ahead and load the mat in, and then it'll start cutting. Okay, the word dad just finished, and now I'm going to put this to the side for now, and then go ahead and, if I can see it, go ahead and cut out the word dad. Oh, this was a little bit hard to find, but it's over here on this side. So to be safe, because I don't want to accidentally cut my design, because this gold is a little difficult to see, I'm going to just cut it like in half. And that way I know that I'm clear. Sometimes working with HTV, it's a little difficult to see because you don't want to waste too much vinyl, but then you don't want to run the risk of cutting off your design as well. So it looks like I can go here. Alrighty, now it is time to weed, and I am going to get my little weeding device out. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this pulled back. Okay. And this one, the gray design, it is going to go down first. I'm trying to think if I want to just go ahead and press them both at the same time, or just do one at a time and kind of line it up that way. Either, you can do either way, which is actually fine. So we will see. Whoops. This has some really tiny words on it, so I don't want to, letters on it, so I don't want to lose my letters in the process of weeding. So that came out pretty good. Very easy. And there. Okay. So I'm just going to get out the little pieces in the design. Just going to pull that out. Try not to get my head in the way, but I need to be able to see. Okay. And then I've got a little piece over here, and then one more piece on the last letter. Okay, so that weeded very nicely. All right, so that's the first one, and I'm actually going to kind of trim this excess paper off a little bit, so when I go to lay the design down, I can kind of get it as straight as I possibly can. All right, so we have this one first, and now for the word dad, we are going to, I think I can trim this. Yeah, I am forever trying to save my little vinyl scraps as much as I can. So I'm going to weed this one. This should weed pretty easy because the letters are a lot larger and thicker. Sometimes little fine letters can be a little difficult, but this should be okay. All right, let's see. Go in here and pull this out. Is it what that goes? Yeah. Sometimes you have to look back at the design and make sure you're weeding the right parts. Oops. Okay, that is that design. So it's gonna look kind of like that. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get this all placed on the shirt, and I'm gonna cut my heat press back on again, and let's head over to the heat press machine. All right, so I've got it on and it is heating up. So I'm gonna go ahead and just do a quick press while it's getting to the desired temp, and then I'm going to lint roll a little bit. So I've got my little lint roller ready. And let's go ahead and just kind of lint roll the area. And when you're working with HTV vinyl, the good thing about that is you don't really need any paper to go on top for the ink or anything. So I'm just going to put this here. And for this shirt, I am sort of going to eyeball where I want it to go. I'm gonna put this down, but then I'll hold it up and see if that's where I want it. So I'm gonna use a little bit of tape to just kind of hold the design in place. And let's take a look. Let you guys see. So it's like that. So let me hold it around this way for a second. Okay, it looks good. So we're gonna go ahead and press this at 305 degrees for 15 seconds. Okay, so it just beat. And now we're gonna, oh, you know what? This is a cool peel. So let me take it over to the craft table and let it cool down a little bit. All right, so we're at the craft table and it is cooling down, and now we can peel it up. Oh, that is so pretty. Oh gosh, that looks so good. I like that. So that's 1/2 of the design. Whoop, 1/2 of the design. And now we're gonna put the second half on. Let's get that laid out. And then just going to place this right in the middle. I think it's supposed to go a little slanted. Let me look at the original design on the, yeah. Okay, so that goes kind of like that. That's why it helps to leave the design up on the screen, because sometimes you forget, especially when it's a two-part like this. Alrighty, so I've got that on there like that, and we're gonna put this back to the heat press and press it for 15 seconds, and then I'll bring it back over here, cool it down, and we'll do a peel. Alright, so we can let this cool down, turn off the heat press, and just kind of let this cool craft table bring the coolness out of the warmth out of the shirt. So we can peel it. And then for the next craft, we are going to do a little acrylic sign, and we'll be using some vinyl with that, but not anything with heat pressing. Just let that cool a little bit more. I may have to press this again, so I'm gonna cut my machine back on. But we'll see. Yeah, I think I'm going to press this one again because it's still trying to lift. So it probably just needs a little bit of more help. And we'll do that, and then I'll bring it back over here to the table. Okay, so I put some butcher paper over it because a portion of the silver part was exposed, and I didn't want it to hit directly on the heat press. So let's let this cool down, and hopefully that second press, which normally the second press will do the trick. So let's get that down. But I really like how this design turned out. Let's get it cool, and I think we might be good to go. Yep. Let's pull it easy. So yeah, that is perfect. And let's see if you guys can see. All right, so that's the design, and it says best dad ever. All right, so I love how that turned out. Cute little minimal saying on the shirt. Because you know, dads, they don't, like a whole lot of colors. Because if this was for me, I would have pink everywhere. So we're gonna do it, just keep it simple. I'm just gonna fold this over and put this to the side. And then we are ready to start on our second thing for today, which is going to be the acrylic sign. Now we are ready to start on the second design for today. So I found this acrylic blank at Hobby Lobby, and it was $1.99, and it's just like a art shape type of blank. So what I thought I would do is put a little Father's Day quote on here using some vinyl, of course. And let me go ahead and get this out. All right, so I'm going to be using Teckwrap this time, a chocolate brown and a gold, trying to keep in the color family of the shirt that I just finished. So I'm going to pull this little, it has a film on it, so I'm just going to easily pull this up without scratching the surface. And I think it's just on one side, but it might be on two sides. Okay, so I just kind of lifted that up a little bit. Got it started with the weeding tool. Oh yeah, it's on two sides. So I'm not going to, you don't need to put any alcohol on this because I'm just now taking it out of the frame. Out of the packaging. So we it shouldn't be oily or anything. Whoops, dropping my little weeding tool. So I've got the design still up on the computer over here. All right. And when it was in the plastic, I was able to measure through the plastic covering, and I'm going to put the design at 5 inches wide, because the blank is 7 by 10. Is that what it is? Yeah, 7 inches by 10 inches. And it is a little arch. So we're going to put this to the side over here and get my big long mat out again, and go ahead and cut the first, get the first design loaded. And I'm going to restart this cut because I forgot which one was coming up first. Oh, okay. All right, so now we are ready. And I'm going to use the chocolate brown first. And this one says World's Greatest Dad. So I'm going to cut out the words World's Greatest and then cut the words Dad. So we're going to just trim some of this down. And if you've never used Teckwrap Vinyl before, some of it comes with a little plastic film on top, but I don't believe this is one of them. Let's see, oh yes it is. So yeah, I can kind of tell that it is by looking at the bubbles that I see coming up through. is letting me know that there is a plastic film on here. So the film is like that. So you just, and they do that just so the actual vinyl itself is protected. So this time we are okay to put this down like that, pretty side facing up, because this is not anything, this is not HTV. This is just regular everyday vinyl. And I'm gonna get my little roller here and just roll that across to make sure that it's getting really good contact with the mat. Okay, so we're gonna let this go ahead and cut, and then we'll be ready to use this vinyl. Now this one doesn't have any film on top, I can already tell, so we're good to go on that one. Okay guys, so I changed my mind on the color. While the brown was cutting, I was looking at it and I was thinking that this was what I was going to use at first, but I think I like this a little better. So we're going to go with this one. This is kind of like a shinier gold. And I think I'm going to like this better. So I'm glad I remembered that I had this color. But yeah, I was just kind of looking at the brown vinyl as it was cutting, and I was thinking, do I really want that more? That was more of a metallic gold, and then this is just more of a, it's still gold, but I don't know, I just like this one better. So we are going to cut, I mean, I keep saying print. We're gonna cut this out, and this is the word best. So we're gonna get that cut and we'll be all set to go. So I can't wait to see. So it's kind of coming together. It's like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the transfer tape while that's cutting. Okay, this is finished and no more changing my mind. All right, so let's get this put over here. And we are going to go ahead and get this trimmed down because the word best is not this big. Okay, so I've got that trimmed down. Where's my little picker? And let's get this out. And then we are ready to get her on. Oops, almost lost my E. Yeah, I think this is going to be a lot nice. Well, I don't say nicer, but prettier. It'll stand out more than what the metallic I thought was going to do. So now let's just bring in, I'm going to turn you guys down just a little bit there so you can see a little clearer. Okay, so this is the frame, and I'm just going to get my transfer tape ready. And I probably can trim this down a little bit. Yeah, because I don't need quite that much. Okay, let's get this going. Okay, let's put that there. And I love this transfer tape. I know I keep saying that in every video, but I do because of these lines are so helpful. Ooh, I got that a little Cricut, but it's okay. So I'm just gonna varnish down the front and the back. I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but this vinyl is Teckwrap. Put that down. Okay, so I've got my frame here. I almost got this stuck to it. Got my frame sitting here. You may not be able to see this too well on camera because it's clear, but you'll see in just a minute. Trying to see if I want to come up or down. All right, we'll just do that. And rub that down. And then peel it back. All right, now for the word best. And what I'm going to do is trim this down a little bit because I don't want it to get stuck on the word dad that's already there. Okay. Burnish that down, and we were just going to peel. Okay. All right, so like that. I'm going to bring this in a little bit so I can kind of see and get this on, and that looks good. And go ahead and pull this back, and there we have it. So now the way this works, let me put some paper behind. Maybe that'll help you guys see it a little bit better. Like so, it's like that. So the way this works is the frame is going to sit down on a wood piece for the bottom, which I have not. Whoops, I haven't picked that up yet, so I've got to get the wood piece for this, but that's how it looks. And I got a little bit of a bubbling on the word best. And Teckwrap, they have these little pins with like a little bit of a needle point on it, and you can just kind of go in and push out the bubbles if you want, but it's not really bothering me. But maybe some of the larger ones, I'll go ahead and push those out off camera. But that is how this looks. So now we need to get started on the next one, and I'm saving my transfer tape, so I'm just going to put the tape back on. What I do is just put them back on the paper that they come off of and use them for another project. And I usually get a lot of use out of my transfer tape. Ooh, sorry for the noise. Unless I'm doing a project that is wood-based, then you kind of only get one use out of that. So let me get this table straightened out, and then I will be back with the third project for today. All right, it's kind of hot. Let's get it cooled down, and we can see what we have. I thought this was a cute little SVG. So hopefully we're not going to need a second press. So far it looks pretty good. Just going to go ahead and get this. Ooh, this one is kind of tough to pull. Okay. All right. So that is how that looks. I thought that was really cute. And the color is still blending in with our color theme for today. So we'll put this over to the side and let it continue to cool down. And the next thing I want to do, and this will be the last craft for this evening, using my Cricut, I just wrote the word dad, D-A-D, and I did an offset on it, and I'm going to stack these together and glue them down to make a cake topper. So actually not a cake topper, but a cupcake topper. And then I bought these little acrylic cake topper sticks off of Amazon, and if I can find them, I'll link it in the description box below. So it's going to look like that. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and glue. Let me reposition this camera so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. Okay. There, I think that's better. All right, so what I'm going to do is the brown glitter is going to be on top, and then these, I think it's 6, yeah, these other 6, they're going, this is like what the offset is. So we're just going to stack these together just to kind of give it some thickness. So I'm going to do this real quickly. I may just fast forward this because I don't know, y'all don't want to sit here and look at me glue. And I am using, if I can get it out the tube, this is that Tumbo glue that I'm using. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get this glued down. And if any of you are not familiar with the offset tool on Cricut, I would be happy to do a tutorial. Just let me know in the comment box and I would do that. But it's pretty straightforward, and I actually like to use the offset because it just kind of makes your design stand out. You can do it with, this is 110-pound cardstock paper, and you can also do it with vinyl. So I've done it with both. The glitter paper that I'm using, that cardstock is 80-pound. So this is 110-pound, and then this one here is 80-pound cardstock. And I just got this paper out of Hobby Lobby. The glitter came on a paper pad, but the black is just some regular black cardstock that I got out of Hobby Lobby. So it doesn't look like I need to fast forward this because I kept talking right through when I was doing it. And when you get ready to do the stick, you can use hot glue or you can just use some regular glue. Normally I would use hot glue because usually when I do cake toppers, they are a lot larger than this, but this is just going to go on a cupcake. So I didn't need to make the design too big because you don't want to overpower the little cupcake. But yeah, you can use hot glue or regular glue, pretty much any kind of glue that you want. So now what I'm doing is getting ready to put the stick on the back and let it kind of settle itself in so that it can stick. And that is a simple little design to do. So that is, so, and there we have it. And it just goes on it's real small, perfect for a cupcake. And then the back is like that. So I thought that was cute. And this color is keeping in theme with what we made today. So this is the last thing that I had on the list to do for today. So let me go and bring in everything in all at once so we can just take a second look. Okay, so here is a recap of everything that we made today. There's the t-shirt, which is like that, turned out so cute. That's the little vinyl design on that. And then we this is the stand that we made that I still need to get a bottom for it. Let me put something behind it so you can kind of, I don't know, that made it worse. So maybe you can see it like that. Yeah, so it just works best that. And that stands up on a stand that's going to be, you know, with the wood bottom to it. And then we did the cupcake topper a few seconds ago. And that's how the back and the front, like that. And then we've got this cutie little flag, and it just says life is always better when I'm fishing. So that's cute. So those are the 4 things that I wanted to do in today's video. And I want to thank you all so much. I hope you made it to the end. And if you did, I really appreciate it. And I do appreciate you guys watching my videos, and hopefully you're enjoying them. So if you can, please give me a thumbs up at the end of the video, and consider subscribing to the channel if you're not. We are a brand new channel here, so we are growing, and I will get next week's, no, I'm going to do, today's Monday at the time that I'm filming, but you guys will see this video on Tuesday, tomorrow. So I'm going to try and get 2 more videos out this week. I kind of want to keep the Father's Day gift idea theme going, so that's what I'll be working on. 2 more videos this week. And until then, friends, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.